Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of Old Guy Farm Single Player Challenge. We are in day 5 of summer in year 3, and this is episode 59. Let's go ahead and, what is that? That's fine. Let's go ahead and jump on in. I did a little mod cleanup, and that must be I think that's a mixing station that I selected for some reason. I don't really know why. So once again, we have more of the same. We are going to be baling and mowing grass. Let's go ahead and see, did we get our eggs yesterday? We got a couple. Here, we don't have anything at the farm. Let's check our wool price and see what happened overnight. So it's going up. That's good. Looks like we need to put manure in our greenhouses, so we'll go ahead and get that done. Oh, I remember what we were going to do. We are going to fertilize these fields, aren't we? Did I get it? Yep. Alright. So we're going to fertilize all of our fields today in hopes that they will be at full fertilization when we do our next mowing on there. And once we're done with our greenhouses here, we're going to go over to field 11 and mow that. So we won't have to do this for too much longer. We only have 14 game days, including today, left in the challenge. So I think we're able to get about 3 days out of this. So 3, 6, 9, 12. So we should only have to do this 4 more times, I think. Oh, I'm doing good. Had a little bit of a drama session. That's why I'm late. I think the youngest doesn't like us to clip his nails, and we basically had to hold him down and clip his toenails. And that got everybody upset. Alrighty, how are you doing, Robert? Hey, DoughBoy, how are you doing? So I have to say, it really feels like we're coming down to the wire on this, and I'm excited to do every episode, knowing that it is that much closer to the end. Not that I don't want to be playing the map, it's just that I am quite frankly eager to put some time in on the 24. Whoops, we don't want to dump. Eager to put more time in on the 24-hour or 24-day map. Right now it feels like I can put maybe about a half hour in here and a half hour in there on the map. We're going to keep an eye on our hired helper there so we know when they are done so we can send them off to the next field. I have to say this is a really nice telehandler. So many telehandlers you really can't see in first person very well. You can even see up high if you've got something way up high. And should we get that warning about needing maintenance, we now know what to do. We kind of wasted a bunch of time trying to figure out how to maintain this thing. Speaking of that, okay, we don't need to maintain this. It needs maintenance in 22 days. We're done the challenge by then. I think I'd pay a little more attention as to which greenhouse we need to do. Where's he at? He's either almost done or he is going to he's either done. Yep, he's done. Okay. Alright. Let's just make sure this guy does turn around. You know what? I should have started him on the other side. So I think that one was full. Then again, maybe not. Just needed a little bit. Hey Hendry, how are you doing? Hey Riley, how are you doing? Alright, last load. At least I think it'll be the last load. We're doing good over here. I'm excited that we are coming down to the last little bit. I have to say I'm a little anxious to see what number we can really come up with. We will probably top, we'll come pretty darn close to 4 million before summer's out, just due to our greenhouse work. That's good enough. All right. Now let's top our greenhouses off with water. I guess we did mow that area. It didn't look like we mowed it. No, we mowed it yesterday, didn't we? It's just we had that grass growth overnight that it's kind of funny how seasons works. Where there's predetermined grass or predetermined growth stages, as opposed to it being kind of a set time frame, as opposed to being kind of a set time from when you harvest or when you plant till it grows to its first stage. You could plant a whole bunch of fields over the period of like 3 or 4 days, and they all will grow at the exact same time. Riley says, question, do you ever find that you have to work to stay interested in playing a map? Do you get bored quick. I try to pick maps where I feel that I will be able to maintain interest for a period of time. At one point in time, I was early on when there weren't too many maps out. I had a goal of basically playing every map that was out, and there were definitely some maps that I ended up not playing after maybe 10 or 12 hours. They just didn't jive with me. But now there's so many maps out there, there's no way I would dare try to play every single map that's out there. So instead, I just look for maps that I feel kind of drawn toward and play those. For example, Serenity Valley is the one that we did a 50 episode Let's Play series on. So far, that's the map that I've put the most hours in on. I've put 170 some hours on that map before I called it quits at 50 episodes. And, you know, to some degree, I didn't really want to quit. I wanted to kind of continue on. But at the same point in time, I wanted to play something else. I didn't want to spend, you know, 6 months playing just one map. So I have gotten bored fairly quick on some maps, and other maps I haven't gotten bored on, and it really is just trying to find a map that just feels like it's your map. You know, there's some maps when I do map videos on that I have about enough interest to do a video, and that's the last time I'm really concerned about seeing the map again. There's other maps where I do a video and I feel that, oh man, I'd really like to play this map, and those I really kind of remember for a lot longer time periods. Alright, so let's go ahead and go over to the big field. Yeah, so this map and Blue Ridge Acres, you know, I kind of got tired of Goldcrest. It was the first map I've played. I put about 110 hours into it. I owned about half, if not 3/4 of the map as far as the fields go. But of course, it was well before Seasons ever existed, or at least before Seasons was ever anywhere as close to being available to the public. And I kind of got tired with the wash, rinse, and repeat, harvest, fertilize, plant cycle. But then come on. Oh. But then a fellow PCSG member told me about a map edit that he was doing on Goldcrest Valley to kind of be like the area of the country that I live in, the Blue Ridge Valley in Virginia. And I started playing that one, and it kind of gave me a renewed interest in Goldcrest Valley, if you will. So I wasn't too worried. Hey Darren, how you doing? So I wasn't too worried about playing this map for 72 game days, because it's different enough from Goldcrest. You know, the scenes, the scenics, the scenery is a little bit different. But I am eager to go over to Churn Valley. That was a map that when I looked at, I really enjoyed. Just the layout of the map, how the farms looked, and everything. There's another map that's out now that's a pretty heavy production map called Nickelodeon or something like that. I'll have a map video on that one here in about a week. That one really interests me, and at some point I'll probably be playing that one. So the problem is right now there's about 4 maps that I want to play that I really have interest. Oh my gosh, I forgot all about that mound of wood chips. That was fun. So there's about 4 maps that I really like to put a lot of time into, but I know that I don't have a lot of time to put into them, so I kind of have to spread them out and hope that my interest sustains the test of time. So that's the big thing is will I stay interested in a map even after it's been out for a long time and other maps have come. Alright, we're going to we're going to get some more fertilizer. And we're going to switch over to pallets. Well, I've started doing the videos on that, Darren. It's going to be a little different than my normal videos. I've decided that I'm going to do kind of a usually when I do a map video, I'm sure you all can tell, it's pretty much uncut, start to finish, unedited, other than just throwing in some title sequence and the title slide and stuff. But you know, it's start to finish, unedited. But with this video, I'm going to try something different. I'm going to I did the normal intro, the normal first look around the main farm, the look at the starting equipment. You start on the sheep farm, so we looked at the sheep just briefly, and then I sold everything, and there we go. So then I sold everything, and then I bought some sheep, and I bought a water tank, and I bought a well, I put grass in the tipper that you come with to basically see where the water triggers were and everything, because nothing is marked on the map with zone markers. So you kind of have to know based on visual cues where things are. So I thought it would be important to actually demonstrate where you fill the water with from, where the wool spawns, obviously where you put the grass can be pretty obvious. Alright, I'm back. So, so that's what I'm thinking about doing, and then kind of recording segments and then piecing it together as if I was driving around unedited, but kind of do segments and demonstrate all of the areas and see how that works, because there are no zone markers, so I can't really run around and say, well, this is obviously where the wool spawns based on the zone markers. So I want to kind of demonstrate it. So obviously we can only have one hired helper, so we need to do all this manually. We can't do follow me. So there, Darren's like, haven't found one yet, East Coast. Let's see here. There was a contest map that was kind of supposed to be East Coast of Canada. That kind of worked, but it kind of didn't for me. That would be a map that I probably wouldn't play much if I did try it. You know, I took a stab at making a map once, and I got about, I don't know, 20 hours into it, and decided that my artistic ability and my imagination did not have enough communication with each other. I had lots of great ideas, but I had no artistic ability to try to figure out how to do it. Or when it came to, you know, I put a farm together, but then when it came to time to put the trees and bushes and other things around it, I was like, I don't know, where does it go? Where do I put a tree? I don't know. Where do I want to put a tree? I don't know. So I gave up on that little venture, because I just got too frustrated not knowing where I should put trees. And the answer is probably wherever you want them to be, and I was like, well, I don't know where I want them to be. Now that bank barn over at American Eagles Modding, that is really nice, and I'm pretty sure it's in the in that Upper Mississippi Valley map. I really like the fact that they've used those grain bins, and you have to use the buyable augers to put things in and out. There aren't too many farmers that I know of, or farms that I know of, that would have the grain bins where you dump, and then, you know, that have a ground dump that then, you know, have augers or some cool way of getting grain into a silo. You know, those are typically at co-op sell points, or co-op, you know, buy vendors. Hey Grand Thumb, how are you doing? Hey Jonathan. Hey, oh, as I look at chat. Hey Beast Mode Code Red. Hey Jackson. Jack's on. Alright. Let's fill this up. Darren asked, does it feel like America? I have to say I've never been where this map is supposed to be. It's supposed to be Iowa along the Mississippi River, but it kind of feels like, I mean, if you go in the alright, if we start here, get him out of the way. I mean, when you're in the town, there's two towns, one on the Iowa side and one on the Wisconsin side. At least I think it's Wisconsin. Might be Michigan. So there's two little towns, and as you like come over the bridge, over the Mississippi, into those towns, you know, you'll get the welcome to blah 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 town, you know, entry zone. You'll drive through the town. You know, it feels like a small American town that would be along a river. And then as you drive back into the roads, they've got roads that wind around into wooded areas. They've got a lot of the roads, once you get off of the main paved road, is just gravel around the between the farms and around the fields. There's a few rectangle fields that are right along the river, kind of like in a floodplain, I think. But pretty much every other field on the map, and there's like 50 some fields. It's a 4X map. They're all of various shapes and sizes. So I do feel that it feels American. You know, if you've looked at County Line and you feel County Line feels American, then this will definitely feel American. I'm calling it an American map in my video. I'm making a distinction between American style, an American style map, versus an actual American map. So, you know, for me, an American style map is flat, has square fields, because everybody that's not in America thinks America is flat as a pancake, and we have giant rectangle fields. You know, so for someone that lives in the United States, it feels to me like it could very well be from that specific area. I haven't looked up the towns that are mentioned in the map to see if they literally are across the river from each other, or to see how the fields lay out as compared to like a Google Earth image. But it feels good. Keith Cat says, "Can we get it?" Yes, you can, and it's over on a Facebook site, Facebook page. Give me a couple minutes, and I will look it up. Alright, where's this guy at? Oh, now you don't want to fertilize that other field. Maybe it's this spreader. That other spreader, he would go ahead and fertilize this field too. Alright. While he's working, I'm going to look this Facebook page up and put it in chat for you guys. I don't do Facebook, but it's at least open, so you don't have to have a here it is. It's open, so you don't have to have an account. So there's the guy's Facebook page. So there's a, like I said, I don't do Facebook, so the whole Facebook interface is clueless to me. I get lost just looking at it. But there's a pinned post toward the top that has all of the links to all the zip files. The map file is like 1.3 gigs. It's a big file, but it is 4X map, and I'm saying a lot of the things in the map are custom textures. There is not a lot of stock buildings that I'm seeing in that map that I've seen so far. I didn't even turn that off. So I'm feeling a lot of that stuff is custom and Probably could be optimized a little better than it is to bring the file size down. There's also a link to a quote required mod pack. So there's one farm silo on the map that's actually a true Farm Sim 17 farm silo. All the other grain storage locations on the map are placeable grain bins that obviously won't show up in your prices screen. So the grain bins pack is also a downloadable zip file, because if you don't have that, then all of the extra grain bins won't show up on the map. There are some augers that you have to buy to get grain, put grain in and out of these grain bins, so they're included in the required mods pack. When you drive through the town, there are working streetlights. So there's a streetlight mod that's there, and if you run through a red light, you will get a fine. There's a optional mod pack that includes several trucks, a tipper, and several American styled John Deere tractors. So they don't have these red and white hash warnings. They've got the American slow vehicle triangle. Alright, he's done again. So those aren't required, those are kind of just optional. One of the semis is branded to one of the transportation industries on the map. There's a big tipper that's got the same logo on the side. There's a couple pickups. There's a Chevy pickup, there's a Dodge pickup. The Dodge pickup, oops, has the logo of the cow farm on it. There's a police Charger and a police Tahoe. The police cars have been released. All of the mods that are in the optional pack and in the required pack are mods that have been released to the public through various mod sites. That these guys have either refined and Americanized, like the John Deere's, or like with the police cars, they've gone and skinned the police cars to be the Iowa County, the actual Iowa County police skin for that area. So if you want to drive around in a police car, you could, and it looks just like Iowa. All the trucks have Iowa plates on them. So it's pretty cool. I'm liking it a lot. I wish I was able to put more. I've got a whopping 4 minutes on the map in a personal game save. I've got about 20 minutes on the map as far as a map video goes. Alright, let's get this up here. So he's got a YouTube channel, and they did a like a 2-hour multiplayer walk around the map, and then they've subsequently put it up a couple hour multiplayer sessions where I think they demonstrate other things in the map. Because like I said, there are no trigger markers. They decided not to put any trigger markers in because they wanted to maximize the effect of immersion, as opposed to, you know, being in the farm and you've got all these little yellow and black hashes all over the place. So in the video they did say that the map is probably about 95% done. All of the functional aspects of the map are done to make it a usable map. The stuff that's not in there right now are kind of some extras. You know, in the video he talks about fabric scripts, so my guess is he's going to put some industries in. He definitely talks about putting in a different sawmill than what's up there. I guess expanding some of the not decoration, but some of the trees and whatnot. And he showed in a video kind of where he's going to be expanding and adding the stuff for version 3. And it was pretty cool. What he did is he basically blocked off the road to get to that area with a road closed sign, like, you know, construction. So the road's there. Everything's been laid out. It's just nothing's there as far as buildings or anything goes. And the area basically to get to it that's been blocked off with a road closed sign. I thought that was pretty cool. Hey Eli, how are you doing? So Keith Cat says he lives in the Midwest and is trying his own map. Well, I'll tell you, someplace maybe to go and look is, if you're not a member over at PCSG, there's some quality map makers over there that can give you some advice. There's a link in my description to PCSG. There's definitely a link kind of in the top title bar of my channel over to PCSG. So we're going to bring this over here so we can just fertilize it after we get done with our work. So, off we go. Slow down, back up. Hey Carrie, how are you doing? Let's see, 38.62. That's not really that good of a price, but I'm kind of itching to. What am I looking for? This is what I wanted. All right, all of our grass fields are at full fertilization, other than this one. That is great. We want to maximize our output. We couldn't get all of our fields to the third stage before their first cut. They were all at the second stage. This field was at its second stage, so we're getting We're getting less output out of this field than we did last year when we baled it. Hey Carrie, how are you doing? Alright. So what else you all want to talk about? Let me know. This is going to just be a whole bunch of boring as we work our way through the field here. Why I'm not doing square bales because of two reasons. First, I would have to come through with a wrapper after this and wrap the square bales. And running at 15 times speed, if you don't wrap a bale right away, meaning within a few within like a game hour or maybe 2 game hours, the quantity of the bale starts to drop. So by the first few bales I would do would probably be about 4,000 liters. The last bales I do would probably be like 3975. So you lose a little bit of volume there because it just takes time to work around and wrap. Second, in the challenge we can only have one hired worker at any one point in time. So we would have typically set this guy to follow me and I would have run the baler or the mower, but we were busy fertilizing our fields with a hired helper, so we had to mow manually, then now we have to bale manually. So if we used a secondary wrapper, if we just had a round baler and a bale wrapper after it, you know, we wouldn't be able to do a three-way follow me. We would have to mow and then wrap with a follow me, or bale with a follow me wrapper. Third, economically, it was cheaper to buy this combo baler and wrapper than to buy a baler and a wrapper separate. And since we're looking to basically maximize profits, make the most money, that is pretty much the main goal of the challenge, is to earn the most money. So saving a couple bucks every month or every day over 72 game days is really going to add up. So let me show you here. So the round wrapper is $170 a day, $42,000. the cheap New Holland baler, $110 a day. So that's $280 a day just in those two. And that is that's a $100,000 investment. Okay. So the square baler is $102,000. Well, we got a different square baler. So here's the square bale wrapper. That's $220 a day, $54,000. Let's go with this cheap square baler, okay? $20 a day, $24,000. So that's $240 a day for this cheap baler and this wrapper. This one is $210 a day, okay? So this was $280. This combination is $240. This is $210 a day. It's $135,000. That's a round baler. So that's $12. Where is it at? 170. So that would technically be cheaper, but then we're stuck with that one hired helper and the time it takes to mow, then the time it takes to bale, then the time it takes to wrap. Is that the big red plow? That's the biggest one in the game, the big red one. So in the cultivator section, there's a Tiger, Porsche Tiger, I think, cultivator. There is a modded Tiger that plows. I like those type of plows. The pull behinds better than the moldboard plows. I can never seem to plow right with those moldboard plows. I'm always missing bits. And then over at American Eagle's Modding, there is a pull behind plow that's 10 meters. It's a Case IH plow. That's a really nice plow. Eli is also wondering, why not do crops? Well, some people in the challenge are doing crops. I decided that the easiest way to money was silage bales. So we'll count these bales up when we're done and see how many bales we get off of this field. So if I sell these bales at the peak of their price, I'll get $1,087 per bale. Okay, because this is on hard mode with Seasons. Seasons plays with the bale price. Hard mode definitely makes the bale prices lower. So I get $1,087 per bale. Last game year, we made about 600, just under 600 bales. So when I sold all of those bales, I made, I don't know, like $550,000 in one day. So with a regular harvest, you definitely have to own more equipment. because you'd have to own seeders, or you'd have to lease a seeder. You'd have to lease a tipper or own a tipper. You'd have to own or lease a harvester. And then you'd have a bunch of different, I guess you could plant just one crop and try to make money off of that one crop. But if you planted multiple crops, then you'd have to make multiple trips to sell points to get your money. Probably throughout the entire game year you'd be selling those. But with bales, there's one day of the year where you get the best price. So you just sell everything that one day. It'll let you focus on doing other things throughout the rest of the year. Good night, Jonathan. Thanks for coming by. Is it 2100? Is that like the 14 or 15 footer? That's really top heavy. You gotta be careful going around turns, or it will want to flip on its side. So we're probably going to get 60 bales off of this field, and we'll probably get 2 cuttings off of this field. So if we do that, we're going to basically get 120 bales off of this field over the game year. So that's $120,000 worth of revenue from one field. And with these size fields, you'd be pretty hard up to earn $120,000 off of a harvest, I think. Oh, I think that might be the plow that Grizzly Bear Sims uses a lot. He's got a little plow that has the sides flip up a little bit, but it's a 3-point hitch, I think. I like those triangle plows too, the jumpas. But they're wide. So they're really hard to get down the road if you have traffic. But you'll see, what's today? Today's Monday. So on Wednesday, you'll see the first episode of... No. I don't plow until episode 3. I was going to say on Wednesday, you'll see the episode where I start plowing over on Churn Farms. And I'm using that 10-meter Case IH plow. I think the first episode I just fertilized with some manure. Or the second episode, I think I just do manure. I don't think I actually get around to plowing until the third episode. have you been over at American Eagle Modding, Keith Cat? I think that Case IH plow would fit the bill for you. Or the John Deere. There's a John Deere over there that's like 14 meters or something. Let's just see how many bales we've made so far. I made 42 bales so far today. We only need 18 more to get to that 60 number. Moved a little bit down here, but I forget where we I guess we stopped before the girder framework here. Oh, there it is. There goes our bale. Okay, he stopped rolling. I didn't want him to roll off into the river. So it's almost 10:30, game time. Hopefully we'll have enough time to pick these bales up. Done that again. Alright. You'd think after all the bales I've done, I'd know how to work this baler. Alright, well I can tell you we're not going to have time to pick these bales up. It's almost 11 p.m. I'm not planning on working through the night, so I do want to fast forward before midnight. We'll see if we can finish the baling up here, because once midnight rolls around, we'll lose some grass. So we've got about 5 minutes. I don't know how much of this will get baled up in 5 minutes. This is the old sheep area where the map's been, the sheep have been moved to the main farm. This is actually the last field that we own that has that's not been cut at least once. So we may be looking for grass to mow tomorrow. Depending on if we get what kind of growth we get tomorrow. I doubt we'll get any growth tomorrow, because typically we see growth as we go into a new season transition. So we'll probably see growth once we go from late summer to early autumn, because we did see growth moving from mid-summer to late summer. can we find a little bit more grass just lying around here to pick up? Keep an eye on that clock. There we go. Hey country boy, how are you doing? We're actually about ready to close this stream out. We're not going to be able to pick our bales up. We're going to have to do that tomorrow. We have basically enough time to get stuff turned off. Get these headlights turned off. And let's see here. We wrapped. Oh, awesome! We did 60 bales, just like I thought. Fast forward, and we are in game day 6 of summer. All right. So we did $853 in running costs, $1,556 in leasing costs. I decided to lease this fertilizer spreader. Where is it at? I decided to lease this. I should have unhooked it, as opposed to buy it, simply because I felt the number of days that we had left. So it would cost us $24,000 to buy it. I figured the number of days that we had left and the amount of time, the amount of money that we were going to spend in leasing would be far less than the amount of time or the amount of money that we would spend in buying it and selling it back, that we would lose. We had $1,500 in property maintenance, 27. There's our consistent greenhouses, fertilizer, wage payment, and other. What is other? What did we do? Oh, that's manure. That's where we bought manure. Alright, so we're going to close out. We're going to quit the game. Thank you guys for watching yet another stream of the Old Guy Farms Single Player Challenge. We will be back tomorrow for another episode. We will do game day 6, and we are down to 13 episodes of this challenge. We are in the final stretch. We have 7 more days to mow grass, and then we will head into the woods and we will start our logging expedition for the last 6 days of winter. On the last day, we will sell every bit of equipment that we own. We will sell every bit of land we own. We will have sold all of our bales of hay, of silage, and of wool. And we'll see how much money we walk out of town with. So until next time, guys, happy farming.